Hi Rage Nation, Kimber Schaefer here with all things Rage in the Cage and Roll in the Cage, as we have an upcoming event at the Payne County Expo Center in Stillwater. That is November 10th for Roll, November 11th for Rage, and you are Josh Biser, and you are on the Roll in the Cage 9 card. Tell me a little bit about your experience so far with Roll in the Cage and the Rage in the Cage crew.
My experience with the crew has been really professional, really good people, down to earth. They're nice and just really respectful and respectable people. I've come in and worked for them a couple times, setting up the cage, running the events, and I've also wrestled on the cards twice, 2 different rolling cage events, and every time it's been really good, really professional, and just good people all around.
Wonderful. I always like to get your opinion on that when somebody like you that's been on multiple of our cards, and obviously you must have liked us enough to come and do some work for us on the side on the cage. How was setting up that monster cage?
It was big and it was heavy. It was really big and really heavy, and it took us a long time to get it up and a long time to bring it down, but we got to it. And then the drive, we did the one in Altus, and so that was about a 2.5 hour drive from the point that I got picked up by the crew that I was going up with, another hour for me to get back home. So it made for 2 very, very long days.
Yep.
And but it was worth it. It was good, and it was an interesting experience too, because in a way it demystified the cage. In a lot of ways, you look at it and you get intimidated by it, just the sheer size of it. And then now that I've seen it stripped down and taken apart, I kind of it demystified the entire process, which removed a lot of the inhibition that I had going into it.
That almost gives me goosebumps. Well, it does give me goosebumps because it really put in perspective. I mean, everybody says it all the time. The Rage cage is just so large. I think it's 30 by 30, if I'm not mistaken, 30 by 30 by 30. And it's one of the larger cages for a local MMA promotion, and that it is intimidating. And just hearing it from your perspective about, seeing it as a whole and then being able to see it part by part probably really does help you, your mindset going into the cage. It
changed a lot from my first time stepping in and wrestling. It was just utterly terrifying and intimidating in so many different ways I hadn't experienced before, but then seeing everything stripped down and taken away, all that fear is gone. It's just another set of mats, like anywhere else in the world, and it's really interesting.
And the thing that we do at Rage in the Cage, obviously we do Roll in the Cage because we want to give all of the jiu-jitsu competitors in our state a place to compete here locally, where it doesn't cost them a lot of money and entrance fees and all of those things. But also Roll in the Cage is a great stepping ground for people to get a taste of what it's like to be in a cage before they take the step into Rage in the Cage. And so just how you said it about the cage and just really getting familiar with it on this level is really the whole reason why we do Roll in the Cage. So are you at some point thinking about taking a mixed martial arts Rage in the Cage type bout?
Maybe. I've thought about it. I'd have to do some striking and work on striking to the ground a lot. I haven't done a lot of that, and the last time I did it was a couple years ago. So I would be interested to try it out someday, but right now I enjoy not getting punched in the face often, and I think I'm just going to stick with jiu-jitsu for a bit.
Okay, and here we love jiu-jitsu. Obviously, this is I feel like a lot of it is the basis of everything is built around that when it comes to mixed martial arts to some degree, because you have to have jiu-jitsu to get in that cage to participate. If you don't have that, then a wrestling or jiu-jitsu type background, it makes it really hard to compete in MMA. So you're definitely getting the groundwork done if you ever want to take that next step. But this is your 3rd time stepping in the roll cage for us, and you said you feel a little bit more comfortable each time, it sounds like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, every time I get a little bit more confident, and like I said, with working on the cage, it changed my perspective a lot on it, and just I've improved so much from my first outing to my second outing to now that I feel almost different as a person in a weird way. So a lot of the inhibition's gone in many ways. That I used to feel a lot whenever, even just thinking about it, I would get nervous. Now I don't know. I feel calm, and I feel good.
Well, and I can usually judge after working in the media and then Rage in the Cage now for over half my life. I actually started in the media at OETA when I was 13 or 14 years old. And so I've been doing this a long time. I can kind of almost guess just from doing an interview if somebody is like more of a nervous person and they're going to struggle in the cage, you know, and I feel like I don't know how it would have been if I would have interviewed you at your first fight, but I feel like you have a confidence about you now. And so that really comes across. So congratulations on just, people don't realize that martial arts, how it really can help a person heal and grow in so many ways. And I would not have known that had I not been standing in the position that I am and being able to interview people and kind of learn about that process and the mindfulness that goes into it as well. So
martial arts and jiu-jitsu has really changed my life for the better. I lost almost 100 pounds, and just, I used to be bullied as a kid and things like that, and as a teenager, and I kind of got into jiu-jitsu as a way to counteract that and build up confidence, improve my body and my health, and you know, it completely changed me. I'm not even recognizable to the person that I used to be whenever I was a teenager and a kid to, you know, now as an adult. You know, I feel almost fortified, you know, like solidified, and confident is a good word.
What a great testimony. You know, I mean, I hear your story. I mean, it's a very similar story. I won't say the same because we all have our story, but I hear that so often when I'm doing interviews. I mean, I can sit here and name all of the people here locally in our state that have had a similar story of being bullied or being, you know, even obese and overweight, and how jiu-jitsu changed them, not just physically, but mentally.
Yeah. 100%.
And just really feeling that confidence that you've never felt before. So I'm so excited, and we all get there in different ways. You know, I feel like for me, I haven't got to train jiu-jitsu as much, but you know, mine comes through my faith. But however you find it to be able to self-heal when you've dealt with trauma and life circumstances, I mean, congratulations to anybody that does that self-work. And so you're putting in the time.
100%.
Yeah.
We're lucky that we get the chance to reinvent ourselves as often as we do. And we're lucky that we've been given these tools like jiu-jitsu, like, you know, so many other things to get to the point where we can reinvent ourselves and better ourselves and bring ourselves out of our trauma and heartache, things like that, that really bring us down and make us, you know, feel lesser than. We have these things that we can use to pull ourselves up and either give us back our confidence or give us a confidence that we never had to begin with. And I think that's, you know, part of the, I'll always be indebted to jiu-jitsu for that, you know, because it really shaped who I am today and just absolutely changed everything about me, you know, in a really profound and great way.
Well, and I love that. And I think that we fail to remember as humans that every stage of our lives can be a clean slate. So, I mean, I tell kids this now that are in high school. I think back to my days in high school and, you know, when I worried about what I said, or, you know, if I wasn't friends with somebody, or if I didn't get invited to a party. And then I look back at those people that may have been mean or didn't invite me or whatever, and I look at where they are now versus where I am, and I'm like, I am so glad that I didn't allow what they thought about me dictate who I am. And so you always have a clean slate to go to, you know, and so and jiu-jitsu is an avenue that has really helped you, and I'm so glad that you found it. So what made you step foot into, where do you train and go in for the first time?
So I train at Nobody Jiu-Jitsu in Oklahoma City under a guy named Tim Warren, and I just started training up there. He just opened the place. It's a fantastic environment. I mean, it's very small, it's very personal, and he has so much knowledge. Like, as a coach, it's insane, like some of the things that I've been training for 4 years now, and there was things that I was just like, I thought I knew a technique, I thought I had it down, and he had another way of doing it that was like mind-blowing for me. And then I fell in love with competing after my first tournament, I've been training about a year, and I decided to do my first tournament. And, I kind of like said to myself afterwards, this is what I want to do, like for the rest of my life. You know, I'm not sure how, I'm not sure where, but competing is what I want to do. And rolling the cage was like the perfect avenue to do that, because tournaments are great, and I've done like a dozen at this point. But there's something really unique and special about a one-on-one match with an opponent inside the cage. It feels different. It's a unique experience, and it's one that I think I'll always come back to. You know, I always want to compete.
Wonderful. Well, I am so glad that Roll in the Cage has been there for you and available in that aspect. So it really makes me proud of the people that put Roll in the Cage in place, Summer and Mike, and all the people that had something to do with making that a reality for all of you. So kudos to you. And I'm so thankful that I got to interview you today, because I just want to follow your story now and see, you know, how you're doing. So you guys as well. I mean, when you hear a story like that of just overcoming so much, this is Jaws Biser. Choose his name at checkout. Make sure you go to Roll in the Cage and support him in his life journey, and support all of us as we try to bring this Roll in the Cage and continue doing that. So the next one is Roll in the Cage 9, the one that Josh is going to be competing on. It's going down Friday, November 10th at the Payne County Expo Center in Stillwater, followed by Rage in the Cage 96 the next night. And you can get tickets, of course, from this guy right here, or any other fighter on the card if you choose. Make sure you choose their names at checkout as stub wire if you choose to do the online option. And we hope to see you guys there. Thank you so much for joining us.